Buenos dias. This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Paleo Report. I am here today at Volcan Irazu. It is one of the highest points in Costa Rica, and it is the volcano right outside of San Jose. This is the old crater here, but then I'm going to bring you down and show you the new crater, which is right down there below. It's beautiful, lush vegetation all around here, coming all the way up to the top. The Pele, Pele in Hawaii is the goddess of the volcano. And here we see Pele is also in Costa Rica. So this is a weekly astrology forecast. This one is for September 4th of 2013. And we've got the moon is just going into Virgo this morning. It's going to stay there, and we're going to have a new moon. That new moon is at 13 degrees of Virgo tomorrow, Thursday. Friday, the moon goes into Libra. Sunday, it moves into Scorpio. Tuesday, it moves into Sagittarius. There's a lot of change going on this week because we've got a couple of things changing signs. Indeed. This weekend, well, actually Monday, Mercury goes into Libra. Tuesday, Venus goes into Scorpio. But the main thing I want to talk to you about today is this Mars squaring the moon's nodes. It exactly squares Saturn on Monday, and on Tuesday it squares the north node of the moon. It's in the sign of Leo, so I'm going to find a little spot to sit down here and give a little talk about Mars, Saturn, moon's nodes, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and we'll hear all about it. So Mars is square Saturn. It's a very karmic time, everybody, if you haven't realized it or seen it. Last August, Mars came into a conjunction with Saturn at 24 degrees of Libra. That sowed the seed, the beginning of a new cycle of how we manifest our will, Mars, in this third-dimensional world, Saturn, through partnership and relationship, Libra. So it was a time of seeing what worked, what didn't work, what was possible, what was impossible in our relationships. And then it came around for another. Well, then Mars, moved on, and it came to its first square, 9 degrees Aquarius to 9 degrees of Scorpio. That was in January 7th of 2013. The opposition was in May 1st of 2013, 8 degrees, Taurus and Scorpio. And now, this week, as of next Tuesday, next Monday, and next Tuesday, it's coming again. And this is more at 10 degrees of Scorpio. So, speaking of karma, it's very interesting. Mars in the sign of Leo. I have broken through the barrier. I have trespassed. I've gone past where they said it was okay to be in order to get a good shot of this volcano. And I could have the authorities, Saturn, in Scorpio, very powerful and not very happy with me, come and bust me for this Paleo report. So I'm going to try to find this spot, do it as fast as I can without getting caught. I actually hear voices behind me. I could get carried away. Okay. Well, let's try this. I hope there's not too much wind noise. I hope you can hear me. I got a new camera. See how this works today. So, if you listened to last week, I talked about how this is a serious time. Saturn conjunct the north node of the moon, big decisions, big stuff, and this goes back to seeds that were sown last August in 2012, developed, and maybe there's an action in crisis last January. Which way to go with my energy, with my desire, with my power to make something stable and solid? Let's just talk about Mars-Saturn. Mars-Saturn is the military. Okay, Mars-Saturn is anger. Mars-Saturn is me taking my soul desire, my impulse, my instinct, my desire to act, and to hit the wall, Saturn, concrete, third-dimensional time, dad, the government, the army, external authority. So, and the plus side of it is, Mars-Saturn is work. It's construction. If you're going to build a skyscraper, you're going to build a bridge. If you want somebody to depend on, to count on, to come through for you, this Mars-Saturn is determined. Yeah, it's bold. It's, like the army. It's like, charge. We're going to do this. We're going to make it. Nothing's going to stop us. If you have this power behind you. And it's also, this toss-up between external authority versus internal authority. If it's external authority, we may feel limited, frustrated, angry, that we can't do anything we want. We are not totally, completely free. We don't have license to just go anywhere, do anything. We have to work. We need money. There's all these obstacles, and sometimes those obstacles is our most intimate, closest partnerships and relationships. Saturn in Scorpio. Things we can't control, the bank, the finances, money and love, true money and love. This is where, we really see that it's kind of like where the rubber hits the road. This is a turning point. Will you make it? Will you do it? So I said, that opposition, Mars was in Taurus. Yeah, that was going on. When was that again? Last May. Now we come into the third quarter square. The third quarter square is what goes around comes around, right? What you put out last August through January, that's right, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, this is who I am, this is my, my intention, my desire. You put it out in the world. You broke some boundaries, you broke some rules, you made some new contracts, new commitments. You changed a direction in life. And then, now there's some results happening. It's coming back to you. What you put out comes back. If you were in alignment with the law, the universal law, this is what's beautiful about Saturn. Saturn doesn't mess around. It gives us the truth. It's black or white. You're going to make it or you're not going to make it. It's duty. It's responsibility. Have you been responsible? Have you done your duty? It's very objective. It's the elder. It's the king or the queen looking after the kingdom. If you have had the right intentions and you have been in integrity, then and you have persevered and met the obstacles, you have owned responsibility, taken on. I am the authority. If this wins or lose, if I win or lose, it's my doing. I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to fault. I'm not going to say, the bank stopped me, the government stopped me, my spouse stopped me. It's time to knock that off. And now Mars comes into Leo, and it says, you got to create it, you got to make it, you're the one. You've got no rules, no recipes, no guidelines. Yeah, you have to be original. Leo is original. And this is the creative tension that's happening. So we have, we've got spouses and other people and external laws saying this is the way it's got to be. And Mars is coming out of Cancer, conjunct Lilith and Jupiter. I just discussed discovered my own truth. I just discovered who I really am and how I really feel. Well, now now it's time to act on it. Now it's time, yeah, and you're going to face it. Just come to terms with it. Okay? There's going to be some challenges and some opposition. There is the past. Saturn wants financial and material security. And Mars in Leo wants to create, wants to play, wants to speculate, gamble, do something new. But you're, like I say, you're reaping what you sowed a year ago. And Mars is going to then come around, and it's going to complete actually next August. Mars comes around and completes the cycle. So you got a year now, of, oh boy, here's what I need to deal with. I need to deal with other people. Maybe I am not alone. I'm not in a vacuum. I thought I might strike off on my own and do my own thing, but other things to consider. There's always more to consider. So that's what's going on now. And it's good. It's creative. And I would say that the challenge is to stay light, to stay joyous, to stay above it all. This is where the spiritual path comes in, and your spiritual work and your spiritual practice. We are multi-dimensional, infinite spiritual beings, choosing to have a third-dimensional time-space experience through our physical bodies. If you take this as all there is, if you take your money seriously and, your sexual, relations and all this, my physical body, and am I getting enough, and do I have enough, and, who's stopping me from getting what I wanted? You get all engrossed in this material, third-dimensional reality of my identity is my body and the number of toys I've got and the money I've got and, possessions and things like that. If you take that all seriously, you're going to get bogged down, weighed down. You're going to fight battles. You may create more battles than you need. The idea here is to stay with that Lilith-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. The idea is to stay with that trine of Lilith, Neptune, and Saturn going on in the water signs. This Neptune Chiron is healing the wound of abandonment by spirit. How is it healing that? By our individually, personally, subjectively, inwardly, Lilith, Jupiter, and Cancer. I have to just feel into my infinite space, my infinite self. I am a 4th, 5th, 6th, 12-dimensional being. And I'm not going to let this stuff, this third-dimensional stuff, bog me down, weigh me down, give me the blues, tear me apart. This is the key, I think, to Saturn is objectivity. That's what the elder is. Ha, ha, ha. The Dalai Lama is a perfect example of one of the best Saturn figures. He loves to laugh. He's got a big smile. This is all temporary. So that's the message for the Pele Report this week is chill out and take it easy a little bit, yeah? So that leads me to the mantra. Yes, indeed. I must find creative solutions if I want to experience union. But if I take it all too serious, I may miss what should be obvious and get lost in the ridiculous. I love this one. Just repeat that over a few times. Yeah, Leo wants to play. You're in a sandbox. This planet, this life is an opportunity to recreate. Enjoy it. Leo is about learning comfort, how to be comfortable in this world, in this body, learning joy, learning happiness. So it's beautiful. Mercury's moving out of Virgo. And this new moon in Virgo could get very serious, analytical, technical, oh my God, worry about this, that, and the other thing. Balance that. Balance that. And Mercury going into Libra, beautiful. Lighten up a little bit, even in the midst of the heaviness. Yeah. So, last shot of this, ready? Yeah. I must find creative solutions if I want to experience union. But if I take it all too serious, I may miss what should be obvious and get lost in the ridiculous. I wanted to fit hilarious in there somewhere. I mean, you can, if I get too serious, I may become hilarious, but, whatever. It is what it is. Life is what it is. I wish you the very best. Hang in there, make those big decisions, and laugh about it. Aloha, namaste, so much love. And here we have our little friend. Buenos dias, mi amigo.
Buenos dias.
You've got a big nose.